So, my name is Greg Sellinger, and I've been working a lot lately with trying to break down the fourth wall and make my performances a little bit more conversational. I'm also still very interested in having a pretty clear fourth wall. I'm very much interested in entertaining people too. So I guess the main question that I have for you guys is, when in tonight's performance do you feel that my play with this kind of fourth wall is kind of insincere, and if it does come across as insincere, how it may hurt the piece? And I'm also interested to know if you guys have any questions other than that question, which you think might be more interesting than the one which I've posed. So this is my second time presenting my own work here in Toronto. It was actually right here a couple weeks ago for Dance Matters, and this time it's a little bit more improvised, although I feel that I kind of feel the need to defend what I'm doing. Like I kind of feel that improv kind of seems like to some people that, you know, he's just kind of doing whatever, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's too lazy to make a piece, and just came all the way here from Montreal just to, you know, just to show up for something. And I suppose that could be a valid way of looking at things, but personally I feel that, you know, I've been doing so much of it that I feel that it's a way of working which I feel artistically kind of bleeds into real life in a way that fixed work doesn't seem to. So yes, now that that's a little bit out of the way, I did do a lot of writing and some recording for this piece, which I thought that maybe I would be using tonight, but I'm not. Does anybody have any questions so far? While I was writing yesterday, one thing that came to me was well, back and forth between working on this and Facebook. Saw this thing. It was these clips of. It was a link to these clips of women having orgasms while reading. And they were really beautifully done, actually. It was, I watched a couple of them, and one was this woman reading Walt Whitman while allegedly underneath the table, and off the screen, there is a volunteer from the production with a vibrator, and you can see that as she reads Walt Whitman's rambling prose, that she gets a bit more in a state of finding it difficult to have the words flow, and find interesting about this as a performance artist myself is that I think in my work too, I'm really interested in how the body isn't always just distracted by these things that I'm doing, but how maybe can bring out something else interesting that wouldn't happen otherwise, and kind of like in these clips, there were moments where the timings of the words kind of imbued the Walt Whitman words with meaning that maybe wouldn't have been there if she were just reading it in a more non-aroused way. Sometimes it does still feel like I'm multitasking a little bit, trying to connect to people, trying to figure out what it is and I'm trying to say with all of this, and at the same time trying to, do a bunch of tricks. When someone's dancing to music, like myself and Susie were talking about a little bit earlier, it's when people are dancing to music, you never really say, oh wow, that person was dancing right to the beat and at the same time doing some incredible moves. But so yeah, I think a major part of my research is trying to find out how to not be stumbling so much of the time, but to be more consistently on with this synchronization of moves and speech. Any questions so far? Yeah, maybe something that myself in the first piece tonight could have done to include more audience participation, or to evoke more audience participation, would be to have tried earlier on in the piece to try to gain a little bit of feedback from the audience, because I guess it's tough at this far into the piece for anyone to really feel like the need to raise their hand and jump in. It's okay. Try to take that into account next time. What else did I write over the past couple days? Oh yeah, I feel this weird feeling sometimes in front of an audience is kind of almost like a sickly feeling that I need to do something. I need to do something amazing, and I don't know if it's necessarily insecurity. Like it feels kind of like almost like a nostalgia for, I don't know, something that I can't quite put a name to. It's like the way that a lot of you guys will probably, by the time you get home, have forgotten about this piece, and just this weird feeling that, in a way, it's almost as if all of kind of never existed. close to the time max. Almost 15 minutes probably. Another thing I did write down earlier is this kind of greedy feeling sometimes of just wanting to perform forever. Yeah, it's tough not to. It's tough to have this kind of separation between real life and stage space. I think that's also something that I'm kind of trying to work at in my work, trying to live a bit more on stage. Before I call it quits, can one or two people just share a note?
Just what? Just share.
Share a note. A note.
I said it's genuine.
It's January.
Genuine.
Genuine. Genuine. Ah.